Hello, this is Brandon Leon, your Rocklin real estate expert. I'm here with Keith Collins, your lender.
I was wondering how you're going to leave with that. Like, what is he going to call me?
I was going to call you Ricky Bobby.
Were you?
Yeah.
First to last?
Ricky Bobby Inc.
All right, baby Jesus.
All right, guys. We are here with a Rocklin market update for November 2019. What's important to note is we do market updates for Placer County, but I also like to do Rocklin because Rocklin is my favorite.
That's your home.
I live there. I live in Rocklin.
Okay.
Rocklin is my home.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, correct.
Sounds like an address that you purchased.
I live in Rocklin.com, ismyhome.com.org.net. All right, moving on. So
cut that out.
The average sale price in Rocklin is $522,000. That's about $5,000 less than Placer County as a whole. So what's important to note about that is houses in Rocklin, the average sales price is over $500,000
in Rocklin.
In Rocklin, and it's been like that. It was hovering around $501,000 November of last year.
Right.
So we're up about $21,000 in the average sales price, which is surprising due to the time of year.
In Rocklin.
Right.
It's probably because you live there.
That's why I live there.
Yes.
That's the exact reason. So.
What are we jumping into now?
We're actually going to talk about the days on market.
Days on market. So in Rocklin right now, we've got about 49 days on market. What that means is it takes about 49 days for your home to go list your home on the market, and then for it to actually go pending. Mm-hmm. This isn't closed, keys in your hands. That's a whole nother number that can be tracked. But this is, I put my house on the market. It's on average going to take me about 49 days to get that house under contract, and potentially another 30 days to close it from there. Mm-hmm. Really important to think about if you have a target sell date. You really got to backtrack a little bit to figure out when you need to put your house on the market to be able to sell based on that move that you want to hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, you know, when we're talking about months of inventory, if you look at months of inventory, let's say that like right now in November, we have a 1.3 months of inventory. And what that means is it's very low. We are in a seller's market, guys. It's not a secret. You guys know that. But what I would say is 1.3 months, let's say that we didn't list any other houses for at all, period. Yeah, we didn't list any other houses. Yeah. We stopped listing houses. It would take 1.3 months for us to run out of homes.
If all homes are sellable. If all homes are sellable and all homes sell, it would take 1.3 months. Now, when I look at that number, I think what's crazy about that is we are like almost half, like 45% less than this time last year in months of inventory. So the months of inventory in Rocklin have it's way
significantly
tighter.
Way tighter.
So it's actually easier to buy 45%. A house a year ago than it is today in Rocklin.
Absolutely.
And so people are talking about sometimes the market actually like, hey, the market's getting worse from like the market's going to drop.
Sure.
But it actually has gone the other direction by almost over 50% specifically in Rocklin.
And that's probably why the average sales price is higher than all of Placer County.
Sure. Supply and demand.
Right. Supply and demand. So another thing to point out is when you are getting your home ready to sell, I think one of the hardest conversations as I go into listing appointments is people don't even know the right questions to ask, right? Like, hey, tell me how the market was this time last year.
Right.
Like, that's a good point, right? When we look at that, what was the market like this time last year, and knowing where you're at currently and the market and how your home stacks up against the competition. What I mean is, the comparable homes, or let's say the competitive homes that I'm competing with, other homes like mine that are for sale right now,
right.
We're going to have a different strategy of listing your house if you're competing with 3 homes versus if you're competing with 15 homes.
Okay.
So you're gonna have a different strategy specifically for that. So it's really important to know, and that's why we do these updates, because we want you to know what's currently going on in the market. It's not just about the houses that have sold like yours. It's about what's happening in the market currently, right? So how does that play into?
Yeah, I'm going to jump into that, but I think what's really interesting too is that you have conversations with the customers about selling their home, and I think a lot of times it's just like, I'm just going to pop my house in the market, and maybe you just come to like Open Door or something like that, and it's going to sell. Like in very tight markets like this, you actually have to have a strategy to sell your home, and then you also have to have contingency plans if certain things occur. So if you're selling a home in Rocklin, and we're just talking about a baseline average, you're selling a $500,000 asset. Have a plan to sell that asset. People think about, like, I'm just going to sell my home. No, you're selling $500,000 of an asset. If you're going to go liquidate $500,000 of your IRA, you would have a plan in place on how to do that from a tax standpoint, a planning standpoint, and a reinvestment standpoint.
And how long would it take to put that plan in place?
Absolutely.
You know, how much preparation have you actually done? And are you going to meet with a realtor so that you could list your house in 2 weeks? Or maybe you might want to have a better plan in place, like having a target date of when you want to be sold by, or having a target date of when you're going to go on the market. Maybe backtrack. Maybe have I'm going to take out a calendar. I'm going to circle the date I want to have my home sold by. Then I'm going to go back about 45 days, and that's probably the day I want to have it on the market, so I can give my home ample time on the market to attract a good buyer. Then I'm going to go back another 90 days, or maybe even 45 days, and that's when I'm going to start preparing my home to sell. So having a plan is super important.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, as we just said that right there, it takes you 50 days to sell a home in Rocklin. So if you wake up tomorrow and say, hey, I want to go sell my house, you got a bit of work to do to put the house on the market, but then you're going to have about 50 days before it sells. Then you got a 30-day escrow. So you're looking out, 3 months, 4 months before the house is actually sold. A little bit of work involved. Okay, cool. And then we're going to roll into just homes for sale. I think this is a really interesting graph that we're putting up right now, because what this does is this really kind of shows us transition over time. And we've got November 2019 versus kind of November 2018. And this is, smaller numbers because it's just Rocklin. But pending homes right now, 73 homes that are pending sale, meaning actively under contract for sale, versus 53 homes back in November 2018. So we're looking at actually a lot more active market, which is indicative of us having less inventory. So more homes are under contract. It's not like all of a sudden this year we have actually more homes available to sell, right? Just more homes are under contract because there's more activity. And then the other really cool thing to look at here is often we talk with clients and say, hey, well, we're going to wait till the spring buying season or selling season, and we're going to wait to list our home. And often in their mind, that date is more like April. But if you're looking at this graph here, when it just takes off, it's clicking around November, December, and January in the 50s, and then all of a sudden in February, it shoots off like a rocket. So you got to be ready to have that house on the market like January, February, not April, if you want to really take advantage of that rush.
Right. And so if that's the case, then you need to have a plan. You need to have a plan set in place. You need to start preparing now. So how do we do that? What we offer is a soft home inspection. And what that is someone from our team will come in, we'll do a room by room review of your house, and we'll see how it stacks up against the competition. But more importantly, we'll tell you exactly what fix-ups you need to do to your home to get it prepared to sell so you can sell it for top dollar. And it doesn't take very long, totally free. We only do about 5 a week. So if you'd like to schedule that, go ahead and reach out to me, or you can go to placershi.com. That's placershi.com, stands for Placer Soft Home Inspection. You can go and schedule it, find an appointment, schedule it. We'll give you a confirmation call, and we'll come out there and we'll tell you exactly what you need to do to start preparing your home to sell. So, experience shows if you have a solid plan and you execute on that plan, you're going to achieve your goal. So my name is Brandon Leon. This is Keith Collins, and we'll see you on the next one.
Have a blessed day.